Special Report. Special Report.
Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the press conference of the Christmas Symbols 2019 here in Tangub City, Misamis Occidental. I am Jam Rukat of the Philippine Information Agency Region 10, your moderator. Let me introduce our panelists. We have from the national government. We are proud and happy to have him here with us, our very own Secretary of the Presidential Communications Operations Office, Secretary Martin M. Andanar. Of course, we also have the governor of the province and the chair of the Regional Development Council, Governor Philip Tan. And of course, this event is possible because of the mayor of Tangub City. We have Mayor Jennifer Witan. All right. Before we start with their opening statements, let me just recognize our media partners who are here today through their media outlets. We have Mindanao Broadcasting Channel. We have the Ozamis Chamber of Commerce, Dalit TV, DXCT. We have GMA, DXDD, Radio Pilipinas, Mindanao Daily News Daily, DXNA, One TV, Best Channel, and DXMM. And by the way, we have the PIA Region 10. We have our director, Sir Frank Gumapon. And of course, we also have the PCOO team and RTVM. Welcome, everybody. Let's begin with the opening statements from our panelists. Maybe we'll start with Secretary or Governor Philip Tan with the opening statement po.
Mayong adlaw sa tanan, we are so happy and glad to have with us our honored guest for the opening of the Christmas symbols, Secretary Martin Andanar. Thank you, Sec, for being here. He is also our court for Region 10 sa Development Council and all the national agencies. And we hope that Secretary Andanar will be our champion in the national level for the development of the region, as well as to promote our Christmas Symbols Festival in the national level. No? So I'd like also to thank Mayor Jenny for making it more beautiful and better this time in the Christmas symbol. And also Congressman Henry Waminal for his support in all our activities in the province and in the district too. Thank you so much.
Okay, Mayor Jennifer.
Yeah, first and foremost, we'd like to thank everyone, most especially kay Secretary Andanar. It's a very good impression on my part, meeting him for the first time. And we're very, very glad and very happy that he came here and really obliged us by walking around. And then, nalipay kaayo ko kay, kung dili lang tingali ako nalipay, kundi ang tanang mga nagtrabaho dito sa plaza. They were so happy to see him. And then of course, to all the media people, thank you very much. Kay kamuman ang amog yung tigpasibya sa among kalihukan. Daghang gyud kayong salamat sa inyong pag-uban namo sa among programa. And again, thank you very much, Secretary Andanar. And to Governor Philip, as usual, his all-out support for the city of Tangub. And to Congressman Waminal sa iya pong pagsuporta namo, walay unda nga pagsuporta.
All right, thank you, Mayor Sec.
Thank you, Jam. Una sa tanan, mayong hapon sa atong halangdon na gobernador, Governor Philip Tan, o ang iyang gwapa nga Mrs. ang atong mayor dere sa Tangub, si Mayor Jenny Tan. I also would like to thank Congressman Henry Waminal for receiving me this noontime, and we had a very, very productive lunch meeting. Also, of course, I want to say hello to my kabaro, mga kauban ako sa media, there is sa Misamis Occidental. This is, for some of us here, this is our second time to meet. Our first time was in Ozamis. Sila Jam gyapon mo nag-coordinate ang Philippine Information Agency with the able leadership of our regional director, si Frank. Si Frank. Oh, there, Frank is there. So, I would also like to acknowledge the presence of the Radio Television Malacanang na naa sila karon dire. Also the Office of the Secretary, Media ng PCO, and my staff. Now, I would like to just state this for the record, that I have, this is the first time that I was toured extensively here in Tangub. In fact, katong pagsuroy na ako sa Uzamis, it was really a lightning visit. Niyato lang ko para makipag-media engagement, and then afterwards, nibalik na pod ko, balik sa Cagayan de Oro. So, I just want to share with you my pleasurable experience this morning. I was able to witness how beautiful the Belvedere is, and the future site of the gardens of the world. I was so amazed, and I was so humbled by the beauty of your relatively untouched mountain, Mount Balindang. Layo ra kayo sa mga nasuruyan nako na mga bukid dito sa Luzon. This mountain you have here is a gold mine, and I believe that this will be the highlands of Region 10. So you have to be very blessed, and you have to thank also the leadership that we have here in Tangub, Mayor Jenny and Governor Philip, for developing. Has anyone, nakasuroy naman mo diya? Nakasuroy na mo? All of you? How about you, PIA? You were there earlier, di ba? So you felt like you were in Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden. And then I was able to visit also the dam, the water dam that they have here. And I was so impressed that you have a water reservoir in this city compared to cities that I've been to. Hindi na ako na-compare kay namin media, masing mag-viral palanta. And also the schools, this building that we're in right now, it's not only a sports facility, it's also a college, and applying to be a university, and they have two institutions here in Tangub. You know, I am saying this because I am just in awe with the leadership of Governor and Mayor Tan. When you think about it, when you think about the bridge that will be built from Tubod to Tangub, the longest bridge that we have in the Philippines, then you have a city and a citizenry na andam na sa influx ng tao, ng investment, ng development. So let us give our leaders a round of applause. Okay. So, secondly, medyo mo Virgo I would like to congratulate President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, and I would like to congratulate Speaker Alan Cayetano and the rest of the FISCOC team for launching a very successful SEA Games. It was world-class. We had world-class singers, world-class dancers, world-class athletes, world-class organizers, and we showed the world that we can definitely give a world-class presentation for the 30th SEA Games. Prior to to the SEA Games yesterday, I was in Cagayan de Oro. I was there to also speak to Congressman Clarix Uy, also former congressman, now Vice Mayor Peter Onabia, and also Archbishop Ledesma. I was also with Archbishop Martin earlier, ang inyong arsobispo diri sa Archbishop Martin is also your archbishop here in your archdiocese. Now, I am meeting all of these people because I am the cabinet officer for regional development and security diri sa Region 10. I know you're aware of it. The Cords is in charge of the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict here in Region 10. And my job is to ensure that I coordinate the work of all of our governors, and I would like to congratulate Governor Tan. He is now the new RDC, Regional Development Council Chairman. And after meeting him and talking to him the whole day, I know that the RDC is in good hands with the leadership of Governor Philip. Now, again, my job is to be able to coordinate para tanan atong mga trabaho, tanan atong mga contribution para mabawasan ang insurgency diri sa atong region, well coordinated. So this is the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict, Executive Order number 70. It is not militaristic. It is also civilian, because the civilian government is very much involved. And it also involves the LGU. It also involves the non-profit organizations or the NGOs and the religious sectors. That's why I am talking to archbishops, I'm talking to governors, I'm talking to mayors, talking to congressmen, I'm talking to non-profit organizations. So once again, thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for attending this press conference. And good luck to our Christmas Symbols festival that will happen later on. I am also highly impressed by the symbols and ano tawag na? Christmas symbols, kanang landmarks of the different countries. It reminds me of the symbols in Bangkok, Thailand, because when they celebrated their founding day, tanan mga barko, di ba, ship, barko, parang barko na siya ng mga hari ng Thailand. Tanan ilang kanu, dagko, were displayed in front of the castle or of the residence of the King of Thailand. Thank you. So we can now open the floor for questions.
All right, thank you for that, Sec. We now open the forum for questions. First question will come from, please state your name, sir, and your media outlet, sir.
Wala ni mo nabutang akong station pero okay lang. Former anchorman and commentator sa radio, sir, sa Brigada News FM based on Arcaita, and now under the Office of the City Mayor, News Bureau Communication. Jong Makapundag, sir. Mayor, Governor, may hapon. First, nahisgutan ni Sir Andanar ang Executive Order 7070. Sir, idiretso na lang ako, sir, then, unsa na ba'y stand karon? Kumusta na ang, napaba ang sir? Buhi pa ba ang federalism nga gihandos? Kaya gibisita mi ni Honorable Eddie Ali, kauban ng media briefing last week.
There's two questions, EO70 and federalism. Federalism. I believe that the push for federalism has now been changed into a push for constitutional amendment. So dili na kaayo ambitious nga himuong yung federalism. Congress will now try to amend some of the provisions in the Constitution nga mas angay sa atong nasod. Advantageous pod sa atong ekonomiya, parehas aning property ownership for foreigners. Di ba karon, they can only own, I think, less than 50% of a property. That's why they can never buy property. They can only buy condominiums. No? And kana siyang clause sa atong balaod has discouraged foreign direct investors from investing in our country. That's one. Second question is EO 70. I am happy and proud to say that Region 10 is the #1 in the regional task force to end local communist armed conflict. So the CORDS in Region 10 is the CORDS and the RTF that the nation looks up to. In fact, sa sobra ka assertive ng atong mga leaders, mga regional directors, like NEDA Regional Director Carino, DILG Regional Director Agabe, the assertiveness of General Gakal, of General De Leon, and the others. Daghan sa mga strategies ang gi-adapt sa national level. For example, the CapDev or the Convergence for Peace and Development, Areas for Peace and Development. Ang CapDev, mao ni siyang i-identify ng mga barangay na dunay mga rebelde na pwede lugar nato tabangan para ang mga rebelde mo surrender and will join government again. The CapDev paradigm has been adopted by the National Task Force, and other regions right now will now have to follow the CapDev system. So it is doing well. We have so many rebel returnees, especially in the area of Bukidnon. I believe that Miss Ok also, with the leadership of Governor Tan, we will launch our CapDev this December. And this December 13, we will have our fourth quarter regional task force meeting to plan for 2020.
Thank you for that, Secretary. Secretary, ang man beside the right, o ang ladies nga gwapa sa wala, mag-asawa, mayor and governor. Ang kanduha, Secretary, you mentioned a while ago, this insurgency, mga NPAs like that. Ang ilang nakitang duha nga solusyon is education. Thank you.
You are correct. We had an extensive conversation, and I really appreciate the information and the wisdom shared to me by Governor Tan nga sa ato lugar National Task Force kinahanglan na mas dako pa ang role ng DepEd. And I also believe because the education is the greatest equalizer in a society. Now, if you have more students finishing high school, like mentioned by Governor Tan, then with the K+12 system, mas dako ang ilang opportunity na makakuha og maayong employment. But the problem is, I found out from Governor and Mayor, ang problem is mas daghan ang elementary schools kaysa high school. So the tendency is for the student to drop out of school. Kay wala man siya high school na masudlan. And I am one with Governor, and we will be working together to lobby sa national government na madugangan ang high school diri sa Misok.
All right, thank you, Sec. Next question, please state your name, sir, and media outlet.
From Osami's Chamber TV, sir. My question is directed to the Secretary. Mr. Secretary, Vice President Lini Robredo is definite to render a report and recommendation with regards to the drug war of the administration after she was asked by the President. Do you think it is appropriate?
Si Vice President Robredo is the Vice President of the Republic of the Philippines. She is accountable to every Filipino because she was elected by a majority of the Filipinos. Ang imong pangutana, is it appropriate? I think she should because that's her responsibility, that's her accountability. The government will listen to what she has to say. We will wait for it.
Do you think the administration of President Rodrigo Duterte would adhere her recommendation if she recommends something which is not in accordance with the mandate of the President?
We will see. I don't want to speculate kung unsay iyang gustong i-recommend. It will be very difficult for me to put words into her mouth. So let's just wait kung unsay iyang suggestion. But rest assured that the government, as transparent as it is, will listen the same way that we always listen to our critics.
One more question, pwede?
Okay, sir.
During the opening of the SEA Game, the member of the media was denied access. How would you comment?
I'm not privy to that issue na dunay member of the media na
Denied access
deny ang iyang access.
to cover.
But let me ask the organizing committee sa media because the PCOO is not the organizing committee for the media of the SEA Games. Kung unsay rason nga gideny siya og access.
Okay, thank you. Next question, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Secretary. Secretary Martin, Governor Philip, and Mayor Jenny. I'm James Trevedal of Mindanao Daily News, Cagayan de Oro Bureau Chief, and local radio sa DXNA FM Oroqueta. Sir, first question. As our leader on the communication organization, as the Secretary of the Communication, like PIA-PTV, you are here in Tangub as the guest for the opening of the Christmas symbol. As a leader of the media, sir, ano matutulong namin as local media for you to lead us to promote the Christmas symbol of the Philippines in Tangub City?
That's a good question. That's a very good question. As the Secretary of the Presidential Communications Operations Office, we have a number of media machineries or platforms. We have the Philippine Information Agency that organizes on-the-ground communications like this press conference. We have the Philippine News Agency. We also have PTV, Philippine Broadcast Service. We have the Office of the Global Media Affairs, which I established under my leadership. And we do have our network of media friends in the private sector. How we can help? We can assist the governor, as he asked me earlier on, to produce documentaries or even special features on the tourist attractions of Misamis Occidental, and And I agreed with him, and I committed that we will send our teams na specialized for that specific need na kinahanglan dire. At the same time, we will be storifying this, what we are doing right now. Thirdly, we can help in the aspect of strategic communications planning. Kay mo may among mandate o forte, we have a division that does strategic communications planning. And kung kinahanglan ng Misamis Occidental, we can assist. We can even give a one-day workshop about strategic communications planning. You know, I do not have all the solutions when it comes to media. And I'm sure that the books that I read are the same books that you read. So I cannot even say that I'm better in this, I'm better in that, because you may be better than some things that we're talking about. The best way for us is to work together, number one. Number two, the best way for us is to encourage an environment of transparency. And thirdly, is for Misamis Occidental to promote the values that are ingrained in press freedom. And by doing that, we can symbiotically work together, you as the media and us in government. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Follow up. You can answer this straightly or not. Kasi parang more like personal pod. Anyway, question is, ang coordination between the presidential spokesman, Panelo, and you as the communication officer, parang minsan magkaiba. Iba yung kay, parang personal naman yung kay Panelo. Yung sa'yo is para for the greater audience.
No, you're right. You're correct. I represent the government. So meaning, pwede ko mag-release og mga statements about DPWH, about National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict, about DSWD, or even about Department of Health. Bureaucracy ang akong assignment. Ang assignment ni Secretary Sal, Presidente. So he is the presidential spokesperson. He speaks on behalf of the President. I speak on behalf of the bureaucracy. So munang difference sa among trabaho. Secondly, sa PCOO, we manage all of the government media institutions. So munang diferensya sa among trabaho. That's why you would see a different, halos magkaiba yung aming mga press releases. My job is to go around like this, what I'm doing now. His job is to stay in Malacanang. Oh, no. Di man. As long as I don't speak on behalf of the President, we're okay. So if you ask me anything about the President, I cannot say, this is what the President said. That's Secretary Panelo's job.
All right, thank you. Next question, yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Gob and City Mayor Jennifer Tan and Secretary Andanar. Gwapo man kay Secretary, no? Karon pa ko kita. Nabayot ko kalit.
Sir, sorry, pwede upo na lang sir kay may camera. Sorry, sir.
Okay, Sek, ang akong pangutana, kumusta man to doon naman to na mention si President Duterte nga ang mga media practitioner na nay sweldo. So, kumusta to? Madayon baka to, Sek, kaya naghinam-hinam ng mga media practitioner sa MISOC.
I-mention ni Presidente. Karon sa ito i-mention? Let me check on that. Murag wala ako nakabatiad to. But the President and the PCOO is championing it, signed Administrative Order Number 1, which is the Presidential Task Force to protect the media. I believe protecting the media goes beyond protecting the physical or the body of each media person to ensure his safety. I believe that protecting the media includes ensuring the general welfare of the media, which is trabaho, sweldo, the economic side of it. And Undersecretary Joel Ego, who is the Executive Director of PT Forms, is working on it. In fact, they have submitted a bill in Congress, which is the Media Welfare Act, para ma-ensure nga maprotektahan ang rights ninyo as media workers. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sec. Any follow-up? Wala, sir, no? Okay, next question. Yes, sir?
Good afternoon, Gob, Secretary and Mayor Jenny. Neptali Batulinio from GMA Stringer. Sir, paggawa sa mga dili maayo sa nahitabo sa SEA Games ba, giblame ang media. Unsa imong reaksyon? May labot na.
Sa akong tanaw manggod, daghan mga fake news no nang gawas. For example, nagreklamo si Commissioner Mon Fernandez na ngano gigawas pa man ninyo katong swimming pool na wala mahuman sa Rizal Coliseum, na dili man sa Rizal i-hold ang aquatic sports dito man sa Clark. That's one. Nagawas pod ang hotel nga allegedly nagpakaon og kikiam. Sa ingon sila, di man to kikiam, hotdog man to. Chicken man to. So dagan mga fake news ba? And unfortunately, dunay mga media na ilang sulat. Now, all of us who have worked in the media and continue to work with the media, we know how powerful we are. We know how influential we are. And we know that when we speak on the microphone, tapos doon na kay 1 kilowatt, 1,000 watts, 2,000 watts, 25,000 watts transmitter, that whatever you say, dili na niyo mabawi. It will already leave a lasting impression or imprint sa imong listener. All of you here, you have your followers. You have people who believe in you. You are idols to people here in Misamis Occidental. So whatever you say, whatever you write, will have an impact. Now, if you write something about a swimming pool that wasn't done, and imo siyang isulat in such a way that dili ready ang SEA Games. But katong swimming pool, dili man dito gamiton. Giapil lang sa repair kay naa naman di ang kwarta, di repair na lang, di ba? Then also think about the implication of what you said. That's what I have to say about it.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, next question from Ms. Tata Rojas.
Maayong hapon sa tanan, maayong hapon Gov, maayong hapon Ma'am Jenny, Secretary, maayong hapon. Tata Rojas of MBC. Gusto lang akong makuha, how can you work possibly to help amendments of RA 9165, Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act? There's a certain provision na mahimong witness in the conduct of raid or buy-bust operation of PNP media. And then those who witnessed during the conduct in the filing of the case, katong mga nag-witness, mahimo at stake ilang life because they're a threat for those in the mga drug lords inana. Posible ka because kung ang media dili po ma-witness, dili po mapadayon ang operation sa PNP because it needs media to witness in the operation. Pwede ka na with your office mamindahan ang balaod na the media dili mamimong witness because after the operation, when the case is being filed, ang ilang life ang namiligro because always at threat. Thank you.
Dagan ko mga amigo na congressman o senador, I have discussed with some of them already kay na-bring up naman na issue. Dili lang din sa Miss Ok, pati sa Miss Or, pati sa Bulacan, sa Pampanga. Wherever I go, it's being brought up. It's a legitimate issue na ang atong protection ba. When you are there covering the raid and then suddenly you're needed in the court to witness, delikado atong nabuhi. And we don't have guns, to protect us or whatever, So, it is really a responsibility that is very grave. And us as media practitioners, we also know the implication of going through a raid. Ako mismo, police beat reporter ko, I've been through numerous raids, drugs, raids make legal numbers game, mga illegal nga mga tupada, etc. And our life is put in danger. Not only there during raid, but especially when you are called to witness. But at the same time, doon naman tayo a journalistic ethics. And we are actually protected by a certain law that was just signed by the president. Nag-extend from the newspaperman to the broadcaster, di ba? Gi-extend ang privilege na we do not have to divulge our sources of information. Right? So, diya pa lang sa balaod na we can already argue our case. Nga, if you want me to witness, there is also a law that protects me from revealing my sources. Thank you.
Yeah, but the 9165 is specific to witnesses from the barangay officials and the media. So, diha dapita, tanawuno na siya because they cannot continue the operation without the two witnesses.
Yeah, mo lagi na. So, it's really difficult, right? So, kung ikaw media man, you decide, you want to go to the raid or do you want to do another story? Paringa na ba?
Building gobyerno sa mga drug lord.
Right? So, it's really difficult because all of us, we work by our passion to cover and to tell the truth. And then suddenly, na-close nga, delikado itong kinabuhi. It's really difficult. It's not easy. That's why you are the fourth estate. That's why you hold so much responsibility on your shoulders. But you also have to be mindful of your safety. And that is why there is AO number 1 or PT Forms, the Presidential Task Force for Media Security.
Okay, thank you, Secretary.
Okay, Bebs Nakwa Gulahab sa Dick City FM, Radyo Pilipinas Tanggob, may hapon Gob, Ma'am Jenny og Secretary. Para na ni Secretary. Ganina, medyo nahisgutan na ni mo ni kanisumpay gamay sa kang James nga. Ako pangutana, pero ako lang ni balikon para masundan ako sa sunod, no? Pwede bang masayran kung unsa pay ubang mga agencies nga naka-attach o naka-tie up sa PCOO gawas sa People's Television o Philippine Information Agency. Nya ang sunod akong pangutana, last year ang imuhang buhatan nag-expand og news cooperation partnership sa natad sa broadcast abroad. Gani nag-sign kag memorandum of understanding tali sa nasod sa Korea. Korea's Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism sa Seoul, South Korea. Unsay kalambuan ani karon? Apadayon ba kining napahimuslan sa government of the Philippines?
Thank you. The first question. Under po sa PCO ang Philippine News Agency, National Printing Office, Apple Production Unit, the unit that prints the passports. Under po sa PCOO ang IBC 13, which will be privatized soon sa PCO, Radio Television Malacanang, and the Bureau of Communication Services. Now, with regard to the Memorandum of Understanding signed by yours truly and my counterpart in Seoul, recently, last week, nakita mi sa akong bag-o na counterpart and we agreed to operationalize the media exchange program, which means media training in Korea, in news, entertainment, in film, radio broadcasting, television broadcasting. Also, we are operationalizing our exchange program with the Russian Federation. I was with the president in Russia, and I met with my counterpart in Russia. I met with Russia Today TV o uban pang mga Russian media agencies. And just last week, my counterpart sent his vice minister to operationalize the MOU that I signed in front of Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev. And by the way, our MOU and media exchanges with the People's Republic of China is still active, and we will be sending another 30 students next year. Thank you.
Okay, last nga pangutana, sir. Salamat kay sir, no? Unsay mahimo sa imong buhatan o government of the Philippines nga masumpo ang mga fake news and disinformation nga nagdaot sa atong pamuno nasud?
That's a good question. Apart from our program called Dismiss Disinformation, where we teach children and adults about media literacy, there is good news that the Senate already passed the PCOO budget, and now it's up at the BICAM. But in that budget is the establishment of the first National Government Strategic Communications Academy, which will be established in Manolo Fortich, Bukidnon, in Region 10. This is the first time that the government will have an academy for information officers, for communication departments in the local government units and also the national government. And it will be located in Manolo Fortich, Bukidnon. And that itself, the institution, will be one of the solutions that we have to make the entire country media literate. Thank you. Thus avoid fake news.
All right, thank you so much. Yes, Ma'am Beth?
Maing adlaw sa tanan, Beth Sardablo of Dali TV and DXCT Radio Pilipinas Tanggob. My question para sa tulo. Seeing the three of you, parang murag na envision na mo nga a better Region 10, not only a well-developed but a secured Region 10. Kay, of course, our governor, Governor Philip Tan, is the chairman of the Regional Development Council. And of course, our mayor, Mayor Jenny Tan, is also the chairman of the Social Sector Committee sa RDC. And Secretary Andanar as the chairman sa Regional Task Force on sa courts. Oh, Oh, yes. So, doon na ba nasabutan between the three of you kung unsay na mga ngayang himuon or si Gov, doon na ba recommendation or makinini ang sa aron mapatabangan or si and also Mayor Jenny para sa not only for Misamis Occidental but the whole Region 10?
Good question, Betcher. No? So, bulahan ang MISO kay number one sa RDC, we have two committees ng Captain, Economic Sector with Mayor Ando Aminal, Social Sector with Mayor Jenny, and me being the chair. And ang atong court pagyod kaila kay nato. So between region and Malacanang, wala tayo problema, cabinet, and plus dapat tayo deputy speaker who will work for us in Congress so that all our plans will be financed or budgeted. So ang kulang lamon is wala pa man jud ko kuan sa RDC, wa po ka first meeting, but we can now have our coordination meeting, exploratory talks, na we can meet together and think of what we can do.
Mayor?
Ganiha lang sa sakyanan na natin exploratory talks about what we can do on CapDev, and then I shared to the Secretary the things that we saw on the social sector, what DepEd can do to help on those affected areas by the communists para ang katong mga bata nga tuwa dito nga area will have access to education so that we can totally eradicate kaning sa mga NPAs. Actually, di mataangay masuko nila kay luoy mo po ni sila good kay wa mo gusto sila access good sa education. So we had a very, very good talk with the Secretary even while in the car. And actually, sa tinood lang, I can also feel his passion for education. And the same with Governor Philip and I discussed it with the Secretary. In fact, Governor Philip even said na if we can come up with a very good plan, we'll present this to the President. Kay base pa ang Presidente will be fully convinced in really giving finance to DepEd and to CHED para kinaan na mong good, gi-in-place na ni President Duterte ang free tuition. No? Na-discuss po na mo nga, asa man ang missing link. So sa tantong inistorya na mo, the missing link is really on education. And then nakita na po na mo kinsa nga department ang dapat tutukan o kinsay mutabang niya na, and then unsay role ni DepEd aron makatabok sa free tuition sa college ang mga bata. Kaya as of now, daghan ang nabilin sa elementary. Wala kalahos sa college, wala kalahos sa high school, much more so, kaya wala makalahos sa high school, di gina kalahos o di gina ka access sa free tuition sa college. So kung nakita na namo ang missing link. And the court here, the chairman of the court is here, so lipay kay muna, siya na mupasaka sa presidente nga muuni ang among kinahanglan diri sa dapit sa Mindanao. No? So hopefully, with the exploratory talks that we did, diri lang na sa sakyanan ha, wala pa to galingkod nga wala ga move ang car, unsa na lang ka, pero maluoy na lang ko itaw ni Secretary Andanar kay murag wa na gini namo gipatulog in town. So, but we really thank the Secretary for really kung nakikijive lang ata talaga ito si Secretary sa amin, kahit napagod na pagod. But the exploratory talks that we did was really very good. So, more or less, wala to kung ma-share.
All right, thank you. And Secretary.
Oh, well, importante ang strategic planning between Governor Tan and the RTF and the CORD. We have certain core competencies that we can contribute to Region 10. And at the same time, doon na po'y core competence sila governor that they can give to us. For instance, one of the important results or effects of the CORD is you have a national government that is listening to the murmurings of the regions. Now, ang among responsibility is to be able to communicate kung unsay kulang, kung unsay ilang gusto dire to Malacanang, dili man pwede na from top to bottom. I think it's very important bottom up because si governor and mayor, they know the issues more than we do. But we have the resources in the palace. If we throw the resources to projects na dili mangyapon kinahanlanon din sa inyo, sayang lang, di ba? So, strategic planning is very important in this case. And I know that from our conversation today, the couple here are really action-oriented people. And that's what we need in this government. Ug sa bulahan gyud ang Misamis Occidental because of Governor and Mayor Tan.
Right, thank you, Sec.
Okay, my second question, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Sige, ma'am.
Ganina, Secretary, naglibot ka sa Christmas symbol. We just want to ask your impression. Pasilip pa lang to kaganina kay upaman mo siga, pero unsa imo nga kining impression sa mga namit nimo kanina nga mga tao?
I did not expect it to be this high-tech and gikarir gyud ba? I have been to mga exhibits sa Agusan del Sur, ila ni Congressman Plaza, si Governor Edibong Plaza, ako itong gagaw. And then I've also been to the Pahiyas in Quezon. Ila po dito mga fruits, mga kwan ba, ila mga... And kinindere, it is a work of art. It's really a work of art. And it's one thing to produce a work of art for commercial value. And I believe that it is more impressive if it's a work of art out of voluntarism and passion. And that's what I learned today. That you could really come up with something beautiful, and no matter how expensive it is, and no matter how difficult it is, as long as it is a work of art out of passion to promote Tangub City, then murag kuang in one word, wow, na nabuhat nila din eh. And I have not even seen the lights. So what more if I see the lights? When I was a kid, my mom used to take me to COD sa Cubao because we live in Cubao. We live in Cubao, baka na 10th Avenue. We love festivities, we love festivals, we love the lights. And the best season of the year to see and to feel festivities is Christmas. And to tell you frankly, it is only today that I finally felt the spirit of Christmas. You know, when you're old already or when you're aged, murag lisod na kayo ma-feel ang ma'am, di ba? Ang spirit of Christmas ba? Di ba, sir? Lisod na kayo ba? Maybe because you're so busy, di ba? And then finally, I was looking around under the sun and said, now this is the spirit of Christmas. And how I wish that this kind of spirit of Christmas will be felt in the entire nation. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
All right. Last two questions, sir, and then balik sa mo, sir.
Mr. Mangompit of Dick City FM, Tangub City. Sa Secretary, gusto na akong ipangutanan nimo kay mo end na gani nga to Marsalo karong 31. Unsa may update, Secretary? Thank you.
Wala pa update, but I've been going around as your cord, Ingon sa ako si Congressman Peter Onabia, Vice Mayor man siya ron. Ingon siya nga, they are writing a manifesto to the President at to extend because they believe in their district nga kinahanglan gyud ang martial law diri sa ato. Now, I don't know kung unsay kuan ni Governor dinhi o yung constituents kung kinahanglan ba ninyo. But it's up to you. We will not impose national government kung unsay kuan, kung unsay gusto kay ingon man pod si Secretary Delphine Lorenzana na iyan ang i-lift. If he had it this way, i-lift na niya. But then again, kamu may Mindanawan. Kamu may Mindanao nun. Kamu may ngagpuyo dere. Kinahanglan ba ninyo o dili? So, it is really up to you to decide and to also inform the President what you need. Kung doon na mo'y manifesto, then it's my job to send it to the President.
All right, thank you. Last question na to, sir.
Last na ko.
Yes, sir.
For your information, Secretary, bago lang nag-birthday ang amo ang Halangdong Mayor dito sa Tanggob.
Happy birthday.
Governor Philip Tan, with due respect, Ma'am Jenny, gidayig ni Secretary Andanar ang Belvedere o ang Gardens of the World. Unsa atong reaction na. Ikaduha o ang pinaka-highlight ng question, 28,000 nga roses. So sama ba na sa gugma nimo dito kay Governor Philip Tan? Yes, go. Ikaw, Mayor. Katong duha, reaction sa pagdaig and everything has to do with the evaluation sa tanang event nag-evaluation like katong na uman nga Huegas Locales is all. Yes.
First, ako man good no, I'm always a child at heart. So whenever somebody gives a very good comment on our programs, especially sa government programs, ambot lang, I'll never grow old appreciating. And then I never grow old by, you know, when I hear those kind of words, I also, parang feeling ko, murag na-feel po na sa mga katawhan. So kanang, mingon ta nga kanang ingon ni Secretary sa iyang reaction lang about even in all the things that he saw. Magsigog tanaw sa iyang now. Sa mucho na gwapo. Tungod kay magwapo bitaw ang tao kung positive ang iyang gidawat. Positive man na dawat niya kay nakita niya ang mga katawhan. Magsigog siya pangutana nga kana sila unsa man na, you know, and when you tell them these are actually employees but they're giving out their time and it's volunteerism. Wala may namugos nila actually kung pila ang ilang i-contribute. Wala po'y namugos sa mga empleyado o unsa kadako o unsa kadagang oras iyang i-devote na time. Kay para na ninyo. But you see, the happiness that we see is just way too much for my old heart to take. Ibig sabihin nun, talagang happy ako sa pagbisita ni Secretary, siyang reaction, and everything. Super. Thank you very much. Pag sa inyong talaga.
Mayor, ang 28,000 nga roses. Bahala ng imong bodyguards masuko sa ako. 28,000 roses.
Actually, it's 28,000. Nasayop kong post. Kina-post na kong 27,000. Gikoreksyonan ko sa akong mga staff, ma'am. Nga naman, 27 to ni mo, pangitaan niya mi sa 1,000. Mamunga sa ang 1,000 ko. So sorry yung kaayo, mga yung kong dispensa. It's actually 28,000 flowers. Actually, nalipay po ko sa reaction ni Gov. Kaya nga no.
Positive.
Ay positive yung kaayo. Kaya ningong siya nga, wala siya nag-expect kaya nga ito among himuon. He just thought that, you know, we're just going to put in a garden and everything. Kaya ningon mo ko niya nga Kockenhof sa Amsterdam. Siya, okay. Ano naging reaction niya? Okay. Pero pagkakita pa lang niya sa akong phone, wapang actual ha, Siya tinuod gani ko, grabe po ka, tinuod lagi na. Pagtanaw niya sa actual, ingon gid siya nga, wow. And you know, the 28,000 flowers, when you look at his face, it's even 1,000,000 worth of flowers ang iyang nakita.
Nimbaw tong balibo, Mayor. Oh.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, Gov, reaction na to kay Mayor and of course the appreciation of our Secretary.
Gipaihap na ko ang roses gabi. Orag 27,999. Ito ay ko. But anyway, nawa naman ko. But I'd like to thank the Secretary for the appreciation. In fact, pag-meet na mo sa Malacanang sa meeting sa LCAC, sigog ampok kasi mo ako maimbitar aning naas Malacanang diri karon para sa Christmas symbol. So kanimay ako kung na atubang yung anawon ko, Secretary. Pwede mahangyo ko nimo. Paila ko nga ay Governor Philip, RDC, and siya nga unsa man ko nga we have the Christmas symbols festival opening. We are the Christmas symbols capital of the Philippines, and our activity needs national presence, no. And our activity should be promoted by the national government because this is already a murag national event na. So salamat ko nga sa Secretary wag gid magdumala siya. Yes, of course, I will represent. Wa siya magdumili nga moari gyud para makita. And I think siguro wa siya kasabot ato unsa ngano moari sa diri. But I just told him, i-google lang, Tanggob City Christmas Symbols Festival para kita niya. And of course, nag-ampok gaming moari siya kay SEA Games biya gahapon niya. I think he will be there, niya mabilar. Siguro ampok, may gani kay naabot gyud sa airport ganina. And pakpaka na to si Secretary. And we really tried to inspire the Secretary nga in this part of Mindanao, ang Tanggob City o ang Misok, aning kamo to paint a different picture what we always picture in the media sa Mindanao, no? Compared to the southern part or the other part of the country. And nalipay ko nga willing kay siya nga mo promote o mo tabang because of the inspiration. So ato siya sa Belvedere, wa siya ma-expect nga inato di ay, no? And kali lang ganahan pa siya mo stay kung manaog na takay bato sa laing lugar. And of course, during the trip, na-share po na ko niya ang mga atong gikulangon sa Misok o sa region. And naabot mi sa plaza, and na-shock ko sa flowers, no? So, nagilty po ko kay, sige na siya pangayan ako, bunch of roses niya. Karon gibutangan nag 20,000 niya, pero nagilty ko samot. But anyway, this is to show na ba from 27 years ago, kami rang duha dito galingkod sa plaza, and she was crying, Secretary, kay mingaw daw ng Tanggob, and gidala na ko siya sa usa ka lugar nga nag-uol siya kay ngit-ngit, alam mo kay walay suga. But from that time on, sa kung pagka masaligon nga mana, butang og decoration diha. But the rest is history. From the two of us there, you know, million of people come to the plaza last year. And daghang na-enjoy, na-celebrate ang Pasko from, you know, young to old. And the rest is history. See what love can do. And no less than the Secretary is here. I think she's guwapo po, strategic kay he's bringing all the media here, and he promised to us na PTV4 will be here to do a special feature of Tanggob and the province. That's a big help, and kami po nagsuryana how to help you guys sa media. Probably we can host a meeting here to improve technically and equip you with skills with reporting and so on and so forth, and magpartner namin ni Secretary para sa ma-highlight ang Misok media sa national level or sa regional level, no? So I think, nahinay ka na ba na ako, Secretary, ito, basi makatapal ko ba?
All right. Thank you so much for your questions, and thank you so much sa atong panelists for their responses. That ends our press conference, but maybe if you have any messages po, Mayor, any closing statements from our panelists? Okay na. All right. So that's our press conference. That ends our press conference. Thank you so much for coming over. We have a photo opportunity with all our media friends to come here. Yes, announcement. Go, yes.
From here, we go to functional one for dinner. No? So, then Mayor, Wakay Advisory. The program will start 7, depending on the situation of the plaza and the lights and the preparation. And of course, salamat niyo tanan media for coming. No? Salamat kayo.
Special report. Special report.